Welcome to another episode of a video lesson for Science 10 Unit 4. We are almost done this school year and you are doing a good job. Keep it up. Today's topic is about biomolecules.
You can find more information about biomolecules in your science textbook starting on page 443.
And here are the lesson objectives. Recognize the major categories of biomolecules such as carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. Number 2, explain the importance of biomolecules in the human body. And number 3, appreciate the roles of the different biomolecules in maintaining a healthy human body. Learning is better when you share your ideas with your classmates. You can collaborate with your classmates through online discussion. Before we begin, keep this question in your mind. How do eating carbohydrates and lipids improve our physical health in combating COVID-19 and other communicable diseases? You will be able to answer this question after going through this lesson. Good luck! Perhaps you've seen this section in many food packaging. What is this about? Let's take a closer look. Well, it seems to be showing us the nutritional contents of the food inside the product. It says here that it contains fats, carbohydrates, sodium, proteins, and vitamins and minerals. What are these things mentioned in the nutrition facts? What roles do they have in our body? We will explore them in this lesson. Look online or read a book for more information about the highlighted words, and then share your ideas to your classmates. Are you familiar with these food samples? Some of them are readily available here in Kasiguran. The other food samples are something you can look up to when you shop for your next meal. Now, try to group them into 2 groups. Then explain your basis in grouping them. You can pause the video while you are doing this and you can write your answer in a piece of paper. Are you done? Let's check. There are many ways to group these food samples, but for the context of our lesson today, we can group them like this. We can group together bread, root crops, milk, butter, lard, corn, and rice. We can group together fish, eggs, nuts, chicken, and broccoli. Group 1 gives us energy that we use all day to move around like walking, running, breathing, and even thinking, and every heartbeat needs energy. Group 2 helps us build and repair the body like increase muscle mass and lengthen bones. This group also helps us mend our wounds. Now, try to answer this question before we proceed. What are the things present in the food that are important to your body? That's right. The food that you eat every day contains essential compounds that support life. Without these substances in your body, you will feel weak and get sick. These essential compounds are called biomolecules. Some of the biomolecules that we are going to study are present in this food as shown by the nutrition facts: fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. The 4th biomolecule that we will study are the nucleic acids. Let us look back to how we group these food samples here. Group 1 gives us energy and the other group builds and repairs the body. From these 2 groups arise the 4 categories of biomolecules essential to life. Number 1, carbohydrates, 2, lipids, 3, proteins, and number 4, nucleic acids. Let us study them one by one. Let's begin with carbohydrate. It is the major source of energy. These are simple sugar, starch, and cellulose. And these foods are rich in carbohydrates. Number 1, starchy foods, rice, root crops, sweet foods, and milk, and there are many other more. You can think of carbohydrates as the instant source of energy. These are the classifications of carbohydrates: monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. Monosaccharides are the simplest sugar made of one sugar unit. For example, glucose is also known as blood sugar and fructose is also known as fruit sugar. Our cells use glucose, also known as blood sugar, as its primary energy source. When you eat, your digestive system will break the food down until glucose is free. Glucose is transferred to the blood and delivered all throughout your body, giving you the much needed energy. Disaccharides are made up of two monosaccharides joined together. So yeah, they are a bit more complex and take a little more time to digest. Look at its chemical structure, it's also different. Polysaccharides have numerous monosaccharides joined together. These are three examples of polysaccharides: starch, cellulose, and glycogen. Look at this image. You see here that starch is actually made up of strings of monosaccharides. Because they are complex molecules, they will take much longer time to digest. Starch is the chief storage form of carbohydrates in plants. Cellulose is a structural polysaccharide mainly found in plant cells that give them rigidity, and glycogen is the storage form of carbohydrates in animals. Carbohydrates are amazing! The next biomolecule in our list are the lipids. Maybe you're thinking that there are no lipids in the nutrition facts we saw earlier, but this is because fats are actually lipids. Lipids are the backup source of energy. Lipids are also found in hormones and cell membrane components. These are food samples rich in lipids. We have nuts, oils, fish, avocado, and olives. These are the different structural types of lipids. We have carboxylic acids, also known as fatty acids. We have the triglycerides, also known as neutral fats. Fats and oils are the most abundant lipids. Steroids, like cholesterol, is an important steroid found mainly in animal cells. Waxes are also examples of lipids. Lipids are insoluble in water, meaning they do not mix with water. The very common form of lipids are fats and oil. Fats, for example, contain saturated fatty acids and are produced by animals. These lipids are also solid at room temperature. Examples are lard and butter. Oil, on the other hand, contain unsaturated fatty acids, which are mostly produced by plants. Examples of these are the different oil available in stores like vegetable oil, corn oil, coconut oil, olive oil, and others. Animals and plants can store excess energy in the form of lipids. For example, animals convert carbohydrates to fat and store them under the skin and other parts of the body. Plants convert carbohydrates to oil stored in their leaves, stems, fruits, etc. When these plants and animals has low supply of energy, the fat or oil that they kept in their bodies are converted back to carbohydrates. Also, fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K are used in combination with fat. They are also stored within fat tissues. Remember that fats and oils are good sources of body fuel when carbohydrate is low. However, too much fat in your system causes your blood vessels to clog, making your heart work harder to pump blood. Let us check what you have learned by accomplishing this Venn diagram. Using a Venn diagram, we will be able to see the differences and similarities of different objects. In this area, you're going to write their properties that are different from each other. In the center of the diagram, you will write the properties of carbohydrates and lipids that are similar. Do this in a piece of paper and submit a copy of your work to your teacher. Now let us move on to the third essential biomolecule, which is protein. Proteins are the building blocks of cells and tissues. You are made of proteins. In order for you to grow and become bigger, more proteins are made every day. Once you're wounded, proteins are made to replace the damaged tissues. Therefore, proteins are very important in order for you to stay fit and healthy. There are many sources of proteins. Sources of proteins are fish, meat, chicken, eggs, nuts, and peas. Here you see that proteins come from both animals and plants. Proteins are the building blocks of cells found in all living things. Proteins are made up of a chain of amino acids. A different combination of amino acid results to a different protein with a different function in the body. An amino acid is just like this. When you eat protein-rich food, your digestive system breaks the long protein chains and turns them back to amino acids. Amino acids are then used by your body to create its own proteins. The amino acid chain becomes a secondary structure called the helix. The helix structure is then folded to create the polypeptide chain. The aggregates of two or more polypeptide chain forms the final protein. Remember that amino acids are used to create proteins that rebuild your body. It is used to create new muscle tissues, new skin, and longer, stronger bones. Proteins in our bodies are made up of only 20 different kinds of amino acids. 11 of these amino acids are synthesized or created by our bodies from available resources present in your diet. The remaining 9, however, can't be manufactured, so it must come from the food that you eat. Because of this, it's called essential amino acids, and the other 11 is called non-essential amino acids. Don't get confused though. All of these amino acids are important to keep your body fit. This is the list of the non-essential and essential amino acids present in human proteins. It is important to note that amino acids are not stored in your body, so you need a regular daily supply. The fourth essential biomolecule are the nucleic acids. Nucleic acids are molecules holding the code for controlling the production of proteins. Nucleic acids are made up of monomers called nucleotides. Nucleotides are made up of 3 parts: a 5-carbon sugar called pentose, a phosphate group, and a ring-shaped base containing nitrogen. There are 2 kinds of nucleic acids. One is DNA, or the deoxyribonucleic acids, and then we also have RNA, or the ribonucleic acids. DNA is found mainly in the cell nuclei and contains the code for the sequence of amino acids that will make a protein, while RNA is found in many places in the cell and carries out the synthesis of proteins. DNA molecule is double-stranded, while RNA molecule is a single-stranded molecule. What are the use of nucleic acids in our body? Let's say this is your cell. There's a section called the nucleus, where the DNA is securely kept. When your cell is creating a protein, the code for that protein is copied from the DNA. This copy is an RNA molecule, which is transferred outside the nucleus and into the cytoplasm. The RNA molecule controls how amino acids are arranged to create the needed protein. You can find more information about this in your science textbook starting on page 268. Let us check what you have learned by accomplishing these concept maps. Write short phrases that describe proteins and nucleic acids. Concept maps like this help you summarize concepts easily. Send a copy of your output to your teacher. Now let's move back to our guide question. How do eating carbohydrates and lipids improve our physical health in combating COVID-19 and other communicable diseases? How are we going to answer this question? Carbohydrates and lipids give you energy that allow your body to function well, including fighting against diseases like COVID-19. Nucleic acids and proteins allow your body to repair itself, heal, and grow. Try this activity. It will help you realize how well are you eating. Make a list of the food that you eat in an entire week. Use this table. Then make a reflection by answering the following questions. 1. Based on your table, are you getting all the 4 biomolecules essential to life? Explain. Number 2. What are the food samples that you can eat more and eat less to improve your diet? I hope that you have discovered something about your own diet after doing the last activity. For sure, you will be able to choose better next mealtime. Based from the previous activity, make a list of 5 good eating habits that will ensure that you have a healthy and fit body. Use your knowledge of biomolecules in making this list. Which carbohydrate will give you energy fastest once you eat them? A. Monosaccharide, B. Disaccharide, C. Polysaccharide. Go on and pick your answer. The correct answer is A. Monosaccharide. Since they are in the simplest form of sugar, they are ready to be transported to cells and used once they are digested. How can fat help you when you are fasting? A. It keeps you warm since it isolates your body from the cold. B. It becomes the source of energy when glucose from food is scarce. And C. It lubricates the joints and allow you to move easier. Pick your answer. The correct answer is B. It becomes the source of energy when glucose from food is scarce. Which of the following is the main function of protein? A. It gives you energy. B. It stores energy for later use. And C. It is the building block of your cells. Choose your answer. That's right, the correct answer is letter C. It is the building blocks of your cells. What is the significance of nucleic acids? A. These are the building blocks of cells. B. These molecules control the production of proteins. And C. These molecules are used by cells to produce energy. The correct answer is B. These molecules control the production of proteins. That's it. You made it to the end of the video lesson. I hope that you had fun watching this video. Continue learning and explore more about biomolecules using the accompanying learning activity sheet provided by your teacher. Have a good day ahead.